Hey everybody, you all see the Jigglypuff JPEG on the screen. Yeah, it's one of those videos. Today, me, the Squid-Boy, hath decided to talk about a video game I enjoy a lot, Team Fort 2. Particularly how Team Fort 2 is on its last legs. There's like half a nail that needs to be like hammered twice in the coffin that is Team Fortress 2. It's dying. It's bad. Before now, Team Fortress 2 was basically already just slowly dying. But then Valve was like, hey, why don't we just like speed up the process? And decided to close like half the servers, make the queuing times ridiculously long, and then they just don't care about hackers anymore, I guess. Team Fortress 2 as of now suffers from 4 main issues: hackers, long roll times, boring gameplay off of it getting stale, and character imbalance. And what definitely does not help is how ridiculous the cosmetic microtransactions are at this point. Oh, you want this hat? Well, there's just a few simple steps you have to follow. First, you need to buy a crate or unlock a crate by playing the game, and after that, you need to buy the specific key that goes with the specific crate, because there's no all key. Then you have to upgrade your pocket space so you can hold more items, and then, roll the dice and maybe you'll get the hat. But don't worry, because they added missions to make finding the crates easier. That was a good decision. Wait, you have to pay for the missions. You have to pay for the ability to unlock the thing that you need to pay for something else to unlock the thing in order to maybe get what you want. But hey, don't worry, there is crafting. Nobody knows how it works or what it's for, but it is there, and you can technically use it if you choose. At this point in reality, I do believe there are just kind of like 3 things that Team Fortress 2 can do to like make their game not completely irrelevant, and I'm gonna go through them from the one I think would be the dumbest to do to the one I think would be the smartest to do. Possibility number 1, add another class. Now, I don't think they really should add another class. That would kind of like throw everything off whack and would be a general bad idea, but I do have an idea for how it could work. My idea for making a new class, and this is really the only idea that I think would fully work, is to just split Demo Knight into its own class. I think this would work because Demo Knight doesn't really make sense to be Demo Man. Here's my thinking. If you went to when Valve were creating Team Fortress 2 and went up to them and were like, hey, so can you add a melee subclass to the Demo Man? They'd probably be like, no. Why would Demo Man have a melee subclass? That would make sense for like Pyro or Scout. Why would it be Demo Man? That's not what he does. The only real reason Demo Knight exists in Team Fortress 2 was because Demo Man was Scottish, and they gave Demo Man a sword, and then later they gave him a shield, and it just sort of happened. It wasn't planned. Yeah, but other than just turning Demo Knight into his own class, I really don't see any other class they could add that would work in the context of Team Fortress 2. 2 is an idea I like a lot. Just let the Team Fortress 2 community run the game. Now this one won't take that much explaining to do, because basically it's just a system they already have in place for cosmetics and maps, just extended over to weapons. Because basically, Team Fortress, they don't make anything new. They're just like, hey, people who play Team Fortress, can you guys like do our job for us and make new hats? Basically my idea is just that, but extended to weapons. All the people who run the actual game do is just approve hats and maps. Just extend that to the weapons. It would make the game a lot more fresh. You can always remove the weapons if they're bad and people complain. It just no big deal. The third thing they can do is just make another game. Like, I know this is supposed to be in the order that I think it would work, and I do think this is the best idea. I don't think it's the one I agree with the most. I definitely prefer if the community would just have the game, but this one could actually revive the game. I don't know about the community thing, so yeah. Now, this is by far what I think the best option they could do, for one reason. Making another game allows them to do a complete game overhaul. And what I mean by complete game overhaul is I just mean like things that would be too big for a single update or even a lot of updates, like fixing the crit system and finally fixing some of the classes, like making medic less powerful, finally fixing pyro and spy, and try to make engineer not boring. Those are some things they could do. Now I would like to give some of my ideas for how to fix certain aspects of the game, mainly just the classes. Now, you may be asking why. Well, oh, and by the way, all of this is just me throwing stuff at the wall, so if something sounds like a bad idea, that's probably because it is a bad idea and I just didn't think it through all the way. Now the first change I would make is lower the damage fall off of shotguns, revolvers, and pistols. The main reason you use any of these weapons is because the enemy is too far away to use your primary, so they should not have the stupid damage fall off they have now. It's like, oh, that guy's 20 feet away, well guess I do 3 damage now, sorry about that. Next, remove health packs, put in natural regen. Health packs are dumb, they promote camping, they make scouts even more annoying than they already are, and they should just be removed for the superior version. Next, make the melee weapons do a different amount of damage, like in each of the classes. I'm thinking at number 1, we have Pyro and Heavy, number 2, Scout and Spy, and I will get to the Spy one later. Next, 3, we have basically every other class, and then 4, Medic. He doesn't really... He needs a melee weapon now, but I'm gonna get to that later also. And also, I am a bit torn on this. I don't know if we should or shouldn't do this, but a melee button would be nice, because right now there's no reason I'm to be like, oh, I'm gonna put my gun away and take out a frying pan. That would never happen. But if the guy's right in front of me and I can just quickly bonk him, then you know, maybe melee might actually be useful. Now I'll get to changes I would make to the actual classes. Whenever someone says underpowered Team Fortress 2 class, most people instantly just think of Spy. The reason for that is Spy is good in one scenario, but really just one scenario. There's a good reason most Spy gameplay looks like this. Stab. Basically, Spy just doesn't have an out card. If he backstabs someone, there's a good chance he's gonna be dead in the next 5 seconds. My plan for this is basically just have the big earner be Spy's default knife and remove the 25 health deficit. Because basically, that would allow Spy to get out of sticky situations unscathed. Now that we've improved Spy's backstab option, I think we should make his other options better. Basically, make his revolver do the same amount of damage as a shotgun, maybe with less damage fall off, because that's basically what it's good at, medium range. Then make Spy's knife do more damage. Like, as I said, Spy, second place melee damage. Next class I think we should update is the Pyro. Now the Pyro has a pretty big problem. Pyro is supposed to be the close range specialist class, but the problem is, so is every other class. Spy, Soldier, Demo Man, Scout, they all work really good in close range. Even Heavy works good in close range, so basically Pyro got kicked out of his own class. My first thought was to give Pyro less health but more speed and mobility, but then I thought about it for 2 seconds and I'm just like, that's just Scout with a flamethrower. Now instead my new thought was to give him more damage but keep the less health. I thought that would make sense because if you're ambushing somebody, you do need a lot of damage but not necessarily all that much health. So basically, if you see the Pyro coming, you can kill him easier than most classes, but if you don't see him coming, he can kill you easier than most classes. Now the next class I would want to change is the Engineer, which I don't think needs to be changed for balance reasons, more just for gameplay reasons of he is kinda boring to play as. I have two ideas to make Engineer less boring. The first idea is to make buildings slowly lose health over time. Not like Sapper lose health, but just like lose health very slowly, so you just never sit there. You always at least have to be doing something. The next idea has to do with the sentry gun. My idea is to give the sentry gun a slight damage increase of about 10%, but make the sentry gun only hit 75% of their shots. But also give the Engineer some sort of scanning gun to make it so the sentry has an easier time locking onto its target than it hits 100% of its shots. And now, the Engineer actually does stuff! It's amazing! Next is a very quick and easy change for the Heavy. Just give him something he can switch out to make him go a bit faster. Because here's the problem with Heavy. The combat speed is good. Like, he should be a sitting duck in combat. That's what he is. He does a lot of damage, but he just sort of has to sit there. But the problem is, Heavy also has a tough time just getting to places, and that's an issue. Because basically, you only get to play half of the time as Heavy as you would with a faster class, because he takes so long to actually get there. Now I want to talk about Scout next, because Scout's pretty easy to tackle right after Heavy, because he basically has the reverse Heavy issue. The opposite problem with what Heavy has. Scout is overpowered because he gets to places really fast, when really the combat speed is just the main thing you want for Scout. Now, like, here's my idea. Give Scout a sprint button that makes him go his Scout speed, but have him run like at a slower speed, like Medic or Spy speed. Now I know what you might be thinking. Sprinting's dumb. Don't worry, this isn't Call of Duty Sprint. That's stupid. Oh, you can't fire yet, Sprint. You will be able to fire. You will be able to shoot. Don't worry. Next, we have the most important class in the game, Medic. What I want to do for Medic is very complicated, so try to see if you can keep up. Just give him a more powerful self-defense weapon. It doesn't have to be good, it just has to be okay enough to give us hope to do a single 1v1. Alright, for Demo Man, I would slightly nerf the sticky bombs. That's really all I have to say for Demo Man. Alright, and now for the two remaining classes, Sniper and Soldier. I have absolutely no idea what I would do. Leave suggestions in the comments. I don't know what to do with these guys, okay? They're just sort of so average and run-of-the-mill. I don't know what I would do. Anyways, thank everybody. Thank you all for watching and getting to this point, and or just skimming through the entire video until the end. Just remember, save the whales, they are imploding, it is really bad, and subscribe to me, do it now. I will find you, subscribe, this is your last chance, subscribe now, do it, please subscribe. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, it would be nice if you subscribed, please subscribe. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, subscribe. Subscribe Fortress 2.